The pros have just leaked a strategy that you need to be abusing if you want to win more games. This is almost definitely going to be nerfed or vaulted, so make sure you use it while you can. We also have Fortnite announcing they just successfully sued a cheater for $175,000. We're also halfway through our qualifiers for the last Div Cup of the season. Mr. Savage is popping off. Clicks is now abusing this new strategy. Pete and Poyo going at it. There's so much to cover, but let's jump into it. But first, make sure you use code Aussie in the Fortnite item shop. All right, let's go. Before we talk about the tournaments, let's talk about the cheater being sued, because this has a huge impact on Fortnite competitive going forward. So firstly, you might have missed it. I made a video on it. Fortnite competitive made a tweet back in December 19th of 2024 saying, "This week we filed a lawsuit against a player who cheated in our tournaments. This player used cheating software and hardware and tried to avoid getting caught by using multiple accounts. It didn't work. Cheating has no place in Fortnite, and we're doing everything we can to stop it, including legal action." They gave an update on this tweet saying, "This just in. The judge ruled in our favor after the cheater ignored our lawsuit." So I don't know if they just never responded, didn't think Fortnite was actually going to pursue it. And they said the player is required to pay $175,000 and will donate what we collect to charity. Now, they said specifically what they collect to charity. So I know there's a situation where this person's they don't have the money to pay it back. I'm not super familiar with the legal system when it comes to this. People in my chat were saying that quite often they garnish wages. So if you don't have the money to pay back right now, they take a cut of however much you make until you pay it back, which 175 grand is going to take a while. I heard allegedly this cheater made $40,000 on the multiple accounts they were using while cheating. I'm guessing they got paid that money, so they did end up getting that money, which they can maybe put back towards this lawsuit. I don't know if there is a situation where they, Epic can claim that that money was wrongfully gained, so they get that on top of this, or the 175 grand includes it. Either way, it is a huge statement Fortnite is making, and it's going to have a big impact on reducing cheaters in the future. Fortnite made a lot of warnings about how they were stepping up the measures with anti-cheat, trying to get people to stop cheating. Obviously, people are always going to break through. Cheat development is a billion-dollar industry. A lot of people make a lot of money from this, and Fortnite having open tournaments that anyone can just get on and play makes them a prime target. So Fortnite has taken it a step further. If people do get past the anti-cheat, if they do cheat in their game, they're going to risk getting hit with almost $200,000 lawsuits, and that doesn't even include the legal fees that you would have to take to try to fight this before you get hit with it. This player just ignored the lawsuits. They're just getting hit with this. At least I guess they didn't have to fight it, but I don't know if this could then include damages that Epic had to then pursue to try to get this money. It's a nightmare. You do not want to get sued for cheating in a video game. So Fortnite is really ramping up their efforts, and like I talked about in yesterday's video with me saying that one of the main reasons why I feel like there are no solo cash cups and there's not as many PC tournaments right now is because of cheaters, and Fortnite's waiting for the improvements to the anti-cheat that have been leaked, and now I'm guessing waiting to make statements like this, because this now sets precedence, which means if other people cheat in the future, Fortnite can use this case as an example of when a judge ruled in their favor and, charge this kind of money, which is going to make it easier to sue cheaters more in the future. If you're watching this and you cheat in Fortnite, or you know someone who cheats in Fortnite, let them know this. Do not mess around with this. It is not worth it. It's never been worth it, but it definitely is not worth it now. I heard some people saying the money should be put back into the prize pool, not donated to charity, but I feel like that wouldn't have looked really good from Epic's point of view. I feel like the public wouldn't have liked that so much. Yes, as the Fortnite player base, it would have maybe felt like justice to get the money to come back, to the player base that they stole it from. But ultimately, to the public, that just looks like Fortnite competitive is saving the money and they're just using it. So it makes it seem like Fortnite's doing these lawsuits because they want to gain money, when realistically, Fortnite's trying to prove they're just doing it to make a statement. They don't need the money. They just want to burn cheaters. They just want to make sure that cheaters pay for what they've done, and they're coming after them. And I think that sets a way, way bigger example if they just donate the money rather than doing anything with it. They're just going after the money because they can. So kind of crazy from Epic. There was overwhelmingly positive response from the community. Some people suggesting maybe it's a little bit too far. Cheating in video games shouldn't, incur this much of an issue. But at the same time, they gave a lot of warnings. They gave a lot of chances for people to stop, and they chose not to. It's just how the world works. Let's talk about the Div cover. Let's talk about the strategy that I think is almost definitely going to be vaulted or nerfed very, very soon. So if you guys don't know, when you take the Mist Gauntlets, the thing that shoots the bats out, and the Mist Cape, and you combine them, you get a gold version of this item. Now, I've talked about whether it's worth carrying this or not because it reduces the cooldown of turning into the bird form by half and gives you way more charges. I didn't talk about the offensive ability of this item at all because I didn't really think it was that relevant. If you've tried to use the Mist Gauntlets, you know how terrible they are. They shoot the birds out, They do almost nothing. The only real use of them is taking down the Spire or Daigo, and that's basically it. Now, you combine it when you get the gold version on its own, it's pretty strong, but it's not really that crazy. But when you get 3 of them, oh boy.
Let me know. Mid.
3, 2, 1, go.
18, 24, 41,
W. Get shit on. Blood X in the call's loving it, bro. Blood X just giggling in the call, loving it.
Come on, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, bro. What am I watching? Oh my god. Wait, bro, look at all the bodies. Were they full health?
Play stashes.
Was that team 100?
Go.
Wait, that trio was pushing like they were healthy. Yeah, I don't really need to explain the problem here because you just saw multiple full trios who were 100 healthy just get deleted in seconds. Now, this wasn't just an isolated incident where Clicks did this in one game. They did it in multiple games. They did it on NA West 2 games in a row and dropped back-to-back 40 bombs on NA West with both the whole trio being on like 40 to 50 ping. Just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't actually know how you counter this. Now, you have to get into endgame carrying 3 versions of this, which isn't that hard to find if you're at a good POI. All you have to do is pick up the cape and pick up the gloves, which no one's using, and then you get the full item. The hardest part is getting to endgame only carrying 3 inventory slots of meds, because if your whole team is carrying this, then you can't carry meds. But honestly, you could probably give up the shotgun at a certain point if you really wanted to. I mean, as you can see, this is basically a shotgun. You just need to be coordinated. All 3 players have to use it at the same time, and it just completely mows down opponents. So I'm not really sure what Fortnite's going to do about this. It feels like they're going to have to nerf it or vault it, because if it hasn't become an issue yet in any of your games, you're going to see it very, very soon. Throughout EU, I didn't really see anyone doing it. I've seen a couple players use it in end games or in the situation where there's like, you know, players kind of weak on low ground. There's a lot of stuff going on and they just do a bit of damage to take them down. But now that we're seeing entire teams just run it and it's their whole strategy for getting eliminations, it's going to become a problem. It feels like the Chain of Hades, when no one was using it, it wasn't really that good. And then all of a sudden everyone was using it and they had to do something about it. So if you see this item getting vaulted or nerfed over the next few days, you know why. And if you see someone running at you with these gauntlets, honestly, probably just use your own cape and run away. I'm not even kidding. There's basically nothing you can do. You can't shoot back because you take more damage than a max pump shotgun in the same amount of time. You can't see where you're shooting because you got bats flying at you. It destroys all the builds, and usually they're coming at you from 3 different angles. So good luck, I guess. On EU, we had a big team in first place. Chap, Mr. Savage, and Rezon. They were absolutely dominating. They were actually on pace for a world record performance. They managed to kick off the tournament with a 25 elim win, 15 elim 7th, 27 elim win, and a 28 elim win. At this point, they had 400 points in 4 games. I was gassing them up. I tweeted out the insane performance they were having, and I don't know if it was an Aussie curse or things just started to come unstuck. They kind of nosedived. They got a 25th, a 30th, a 21st, then they got a 7th and a 22nd. So they got 400 points in 4 games and then 100 points in their next 5. So a bit of an unfortunate finish, but still an insane performance. They're still in first place. That's how hard they popped off at the start. And it does show maybe some of the issues they're having or their playstyle right now. They take a lot of aggressive early and mid-game fights. Often they go their way, but when they don't, they struggle to recover from it. And that seems to be costing them. They are also still going Supernova Academy in opens, which is going to be a pretty heavily contested drop. I think their plan is still to go resistance base in finals, but like Kanata's team over on NA, they drop a Demon's Domain in opens just to have those pop-off games, get the good loot to W key, and then they go back to Crime City in the finals. So I don't think Mr. Savage has changed his drop to go back and contest Prodoxy. I think it's just an opens drop spot, but they still did phenomenally well. They still popped off. It was really fun to watch. Then we had Sky Scroll and Thomas HD in second, and Pink, Nebs, and Kuro in third. One team unfortunately missing from the top 33 right now is Mongrel. We have Mongrel's team in 122nd place, which means they're on about 200 points. They need about a 400 to 450 point day on day 2 if they want to clutch up the qualification, which is not ideal. It's doable. We saw Mr. Savage do it last week. We saw Peterbot's team do it last week, but right now, Mongrel is pretty far outside of quality, really needs to bring it back with a good day 2. Veno's team, who's been pretty quiet this season, they're in 34th right now on 314 points, so just outside of qualification, not doing terrible by any means, but they haven't secured it just yet, which is a little bit scary. I did talk to Veno during the tournament. He said he's not feeling very well. He is actually quite sick right now. They had one really big pop-off game, a 25 elim win, which is heavily carrying their points, and a 14 elim win as well. They kind of have the go big or go home placement right now. They have an average placement of 17.3. So with 2 wins, that shows they're going down early a lot. A 22nd, 33rd, 28th, 29th, 15th, 19th, 14th, 11th. They only had 2 games inside the top 10 in 10 games. So really struggling for their consistency, but when it works, it really works. Over on NA, we had the complete opposite performance of Mr. Savage. We had Aegis, Acorn, and Pollo start off with a terrible tournament. They had a 0 kill 32nd, 7 kill 18th, 0 kill 19th, 7 kill 16th, 0 kill 33rd, and a 0 kill 27th. They had, I think it was like 80 points or something in their first 5 or 6 games. It was looking very, very bad. They ended streams, they locked in, and they popped off. They got a 17 kill win, 9 kill second, 33 kill win, and a 24 kill third. So those last 4 games off stream after a stinker start was the huge turnaround they needed. A lot of Pete fans jumping on and flaming Pollo, and oh, Pete's going to be unconned in finals again. They missed out on Eval Cup finals, now Div Cup finals. Pollo sucks, Pete's domain. They ended up outplacing Pete in the end. Ritual Cole and Peterbot didn't play bad by any means. They're in 9th place right now on 428 points. So still good performance. Just, again, Pollo's finish kind of pushing them out a little bit. The team that had the best performance, though, Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx. One of our brand new trios absolutely popping off. The only team to break 500 points on NA. We also had Rapid, Kanata, and Bolt in 2nd on 479. And then Reed, Cooper, and Curly in 3rd on 470. I showed earlier Clix's strategy to dominate NA West. They weren't actually using this on NA Central. I don't know if that's because they just hadn't really given it a try yet, or maybe it's something they're only going to try and risk on high ping. When they're on low ping, they might as well stick to the strategy they know. They finished in 5th on 453, so they're looking very, very good for the finals as well. I also got to be part of a big announcement today that I wasn't even aware I was going to be part of. My management team told me I was getting sent a care package and I had to solve some clues to then figure out something. Turns out I got sent the announcement of where the LAN is going to be for the Milk Cup, which is the $300,000 LAN series that's going on right now. This is in the female Fortnite scene. It's 3 qualifiers at $30,000 each, which is $90,000, and then the $210,000 LAN, and it's going to take place in TwitchCon San Diego on October 18th. So it's very cool to announce that one as well. I really didn't know I was going to be involved. So if you're in the female Fortnite scene, make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you guys jump in and play the qualifiers. They're open to anyone, and hopefully I'll be able to go to the LAN finals. It looks like it's going to be a really good time, and I already go to TwitchCon anyway. So super excited for that one. Thank you, Milk, for reaching out and letting me be part of the announcement. So hopefully that's on your guys' radar now.